We got plenty of action coming up. Our next event, Sorcery Only. You got one round of this. So it's very, very simple. Just press Q or E or L1 and R1. That's it. You got runes. You got everything else. Loot up. Don't use your spells. If you use your spells, I'm gonna be very upset. You don't want to see me upset. All right. Just use your boulders. Use your lightning strikes. Use your flame walls. I better not see a single shockwave.
Better not do it. You don't want to get him angry, guys. Believe me.
I don't have sleeves today. All right.
That's because somebody made him angry earlier and the sleeves just popped off. It was crazy.
Pop off.
But yeah, I got to say that if you're going with Stone Shaper, maybe potentially getting down early and getting those early exiles could be a snowball effect. You could get some nice loot. You could start controlling an area. But if you're going with Lightning or something, maybe being on the outside and coming in could be a better idea to wait for that nice upgrade onto your sorcery. But it looks like Soft is going to be running Conduit and going right into that early engagement, and does take a little bit of damage, gets a little bit of punishment there for fighting this player early on, but closing a nice little lightning sorcery down. But there you go. That's exactly what I thought. It's going to be some boulders coming out early on, but does have a boulder, has a stone gauntlet on hand, so he's going to have both options when he needs it. But it looks like he's going dangerously low. A couple more boulders, and that's going to be the end of Soft. But let's see what he's going to be able to do with this Feather Fall.
This is the funniest part of this event, is that they literally have to wait so long for the cooldowns to come off. It's literally just throw your boulder, wait 10 seconds. Hopefully you don't get damaged in that meantime. But here's the stun coming out. Trying to stun himself. Oh, man. Big detriment there. Soft, you might have to peel off of this one here. That's another shot coming out. Got to be careful of that boulder coming in. Going to dodge that one just over the top. Thankfully, Soft is going to get out with his life here. He needs to find a place to go ahead and heal up. This is a nice opportunity here. Now, if you do miss the sorcery, they literally just have to watch you heal up. That's the best part of this. It's literally just, ooh, the nice duck. Excellent job there. But that's going to be a little bit of lightning coming up. Thankfully, Soth can live another bit of stun here and just a free reset. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Very interesting. I think most of the time people are kind of like squinting and laughing a little bit when you see Feather Fall here. But I think in this one it might be actually a great play. However, the Conduit sorcery is going to be difficult to get away from with Feather Fall because of its column-based sorcery. But I do think it's going to be a really good way for you to get yourself in a position where you can land boulders and lightning sorceries of your own. And we see Soft continuously, like you said, when you run out of cooldowns, you kind of just sit there and watch each other heal up. And Soft is going to be able to continuously do that over and over. But now no HP potions on hand. It looks like that might be what he's looking for here, or just some loot in general. Maybe a belt would really come in really, really handy, but he's not been able to find anything, and it looks like he's going to be able to survive that fight and maybe loot up, and those players will go their separate ways and meet up again. Sleeper now going into some action, rocking the Fortitude. OSK Fortitude, what do you think about that choice?
I'm definitely going to save him at least one source of damage coming out. Fortitude actually becomes a very, very high value talent here, because yes, you can run scavenging. That is an option. But for the early game, going into the mid game, when there's not a whole lot of action going on, that Fortitude is going to have a lot of time to charge back up. It can block a stun, it can block a boulder, it can block anything. So you don't have that little bit of investment from the spell to completely remove a Fortitude. So, oh, nice one through the door there. Very, very nice weaving out there. And Sleeper, that's pretty good decision. You also have the Harmony, which is going to give a bit of damage reduction and CC immunity. Probably some of the best builds you're going to see out here.
Oh, really, really nice. Very, very sustain-oriented. Try to keep safe. Try to, not get punished too hard for that first initial sorcery. We'll see if it's going to work out for him. Using that Shadow Step very, very nicely to close the gap, and now trying to get closer to his opponent. You see that Fortitude getting a little bit of value there, soaks up some damage there, but a boulder is going to connect and does take a little bit more. And oh man, you're going to see this a lot tonight, OSK. I think in these sorcery lobbies, people that are not necessarily used to using the Conduit, the lightning sorcery that often, is going to be tagging themselves a lot, and that's the second player we've seen do it. Looks like Sleeper does get pushed in between two players here on the ridge of this mountain, does get tagged with a boulder from behind, goes down to about 20 HP or 20 armor or so, but does still have that full HP bar. And nice little lightning sorcery to tag this opponent way up in the sky. Boulder back-to-back sorcery is going to connect, and it looks like he does get answered back a little bit of his own, as Sleeper does get tagged with a boulder and sorcery on the low ground here. Going to be very difficult for him to get in position, particular mini game than you'll see in a normal game of Spellbreak or some of the other games we got going on tonight. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're 100% right going in. And as we see, it is to that point where looks like Stone Shapers do get that extra little bit of sorcery charge. So Love Dodo going to see a nice little buff to his kit. And at the same time, now that we're at level 4, you're also going to see that secondary strike really show itself here. Not really going to be too useful until we get into the very, very closed in parts of the circle. Love Dodo might take a little bit of damage from the storm here. Going to get very, very close to doing so.
Ooh.
And that's a nice boulder coming out as well. That's 36 damage onto his opponent. Just needs to make it about 60 more, and he'll have a nice exile.
Ooh, and we see Featherfall, you know, keeping him up on that high ground advantage, and he does kind of land, almost lands right next to another opponent, but we don't see any sorceries coming out, and we are starting to get now. Finally, this circle is getting a little bit smaller. We see a lot of players condensed in this nice little area, but it's going to get even smaller and even more wild as we see Love Dodo dodging a boulder from a player that kind of just standing on top of this tower, not really doing much in the way of movement, just looking and picking their own little engagements where they can throw a boulder, where can they throw a lightning sorcery down and do a little bit of damage. And Dodo is going to be coming on the receiving end of that particular boulder, but throws down a last lightning sorcery of their own and pushes that player off of that tower. Woebegone Wizard with an exile with a toxic. Is that a toxic sorcery on the Spangly one? Megaverse getting Sid Shamrock, and Ilya kind of like jostling for position here. We see some players fighting out here in the middle of this field. You got to be careful fighting in a position like this. You're not going to have a lot of cover or structures to use for guard or to hide behind if you need it. So Ilya spotting these players fighting out kind of out in the open is really just a huge way. And is that Chronomancer on the rune?
I was about to say, about to point it out to you here. He's got 3 charges of Chronomancer, and he's got a Knowledge Potion there in the pocket. So be very, very aware with what Ilya is trying to do here. He's also got Finders Keepers here to find that extra little bit of knowledge here. Very, very smart choice here. Instead of the Scavenging, instead of the Fervor, get a little bit of extra power from your sorceries. Very, very nice. And yeah, that's 3 charges on Chronomaster, man. He's not going to die.
Ooh, if he's
not going to die.
If he plays this well and he gets to a position where he can just constantly chrono and rewind to a safe spot like this, this could be the big brain play that we've been waiting to see. I mean, Ilya, really a great player, always consistently pops off in these tournaments and competitive play. And I'm very excited to see that Chronomancer, see what happens.
I'll tell you what, though. Interesting in the kill feed here, we do see a Frost Exile from Woebegone Wizard.
Ooh.
Now, Flash Freeze doesn't damage you, so we'll have to see what exactly is the interaction going on there. Insomniac Panda, though, just going to get a little bit of updraft bug from Fortitude. I've been told that it is Fortitude that does prevent you from it is Fortitude that prevents you from getting any value out of updraft. Now, Woebegone Wizard going to still have another exile there on Toxic. I wonder if he's even part of this because you know, it's a little bit odd, but we'll see what plays out here. We got Insomniac Panda coming out here, just trying to fly around, rotate around, trying to get a better position onto this little bit of Lightning Strike. Unfortunately, going to pop his own Fortitude, and we'll see where it unfolds from here.
Oh yeah, and it does look like I think Woebegone Wizard is not part of our tournament here, so it's just going to be a big scary ad in this sorcery only lobby players are going to have to deal with.
Look at the flying wizards!
Oh, and that's going to be Woebegone going down to Woebegone, the only one that could have done it himself. Casper also getting taken out, and it looks like Megaverse is getting exiled. Is that a Shockwave or no? That's a boulder. That's a boulder onto H generic, and Solar Bear taking out Roaming Gnome, and it is complete chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Wizard.
Oh, the flying wizards! I love it. This is what I was waiting on. This is what I was waiting. This is the kind of gameplay you need to show in a Spellbreak trailer. Oh man, Kill gonna get just a little bit of action onto himself there, but the boulders are coming out, my man. Oh my! Look at this going on here. Gotta get a nice little flight coming on here. We got a nice little bit of sorcery cooldown getting off. And look at this, we got plenty of flying wizards, plenty of lightning striking for him, and that's going to be a big boulder coming out. Will it land? It will. Nice little bit of damage onto his opponent there. Chicken Burrito going to go down the zone, but not before he gets Insomniac Panda. Now we're going to get Kill flying straight back up, looking to land a nice little bit of this conduit action here. And that's another benefit of Conduit. You know, you get that extra little bit of room whenever you get the Lightning Strike sorcery going on. Very, very nice build to go with. But Kill's going to just fly on back down. Going to get a nice little recharge on the legendary flight, by the way. And just going to keep soaring on up to the skies. Now we got Eureka. No exiles yet. Looking to change that, though. He's got Flash Freeze, and he's got that secondary strike off the cooldown, just ready to go. 5 seconds to go. A little bit of freeze coming out, and hopefully an exile to follow.
Nice. Flash Freeze doing a great job. Actually been able to catch an opponent and freeze him up. 12 players still remain with 15 just a second ago, and this is the smallest circle ever. Insane. Everybody going up trying to dodge those lightning sorceries, trying to get perspective to rain down those boulders. And look how crazy it is. Darkbreaker's coming in and getting an exile on the Ilya. Megaverse going down to Solar Bear. Divine with an exile on the kill as everybody just dwindles, pushed ever closer. There's almost nowhere to run, nowhere to hide except up. And it looks like Eureka's is able to survive for a long time, just now losing that armor. The Fortitude earlier is definitely going to be able to survive for a little bit longer. Now drinking up there in this small circle. How did he just get a potion off? I don't know what's going on. Divine with an exile on the 5th night. Kunat Cole goes out to themselves, and it's like lightning sorceries and boulders everywhere. Oh my, where can he go? Flight on the hands of
T-Foul.
But he's out of the, wait, is he in the safe zone still? He's
Yeah,
not taking damage. He's just right in the safe zone. Oh my God. Beautiful movement here, OSK.
Oh, and that's going to be Eureka's with the win. Not a win yet. There's one exile here. I misread that just a little bit. Eureka's going to get just lightning down. It's Isolius. We still have 2 people left. Who's it going to be? Who's going to last longest? It will be Isolius. Darkbreaker's going to go down to a boulder. Isolius with a nice win on our sorcery only round. Great job, everyone involved. What a chaotic final circle lasting till the very end.
Wow.
Excellent stuff from everybody involved.
Gosh. Oh my goodness, OSK. It came down to pretty much a sumo match at the end. It was players really just trying to push each other out of the storm. I saw we swapped over T-Foul, and he was living on the edge, literally just right on the edge, not taking any damage, knowing exactly where he could be safely and throwing down some great boulders and damage onto the opponents that were remaining. But in the end, it's going to be Isolius that comes in, and it looks like he was out in the storm. And if that tick would have went off, he most likely would have been exiled, but managed to jump back into the safe zone right as Darkbreakers gets tagged by the storm himself, goes out, and really just, it came down to positioning, surviving, and just dodging the nasty chaos that was coming through in this sorcery only round of Olympics. Oh my gosh, so much fun.
Man, what a chaos.